It's one of those weird days. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see a few. It's raining. It's also completely and absolutely rain cloud free. It's coming down this way, so it's coming from over there. There's nothing over there. Weird. Must be coming out of that cloud somehow. Not very. And that's a 360-degree sweep. Well, it's been a while. Just nothing really going on. But last time, you may recall, I had a cracked tooth. And I was being treated for an infection in the jaw. And was waiting for that to heal up. And also to see how well the temporary patch worked on the tooth back there. And to be quite honest, I didn't have any problems with it. I did, however, notice that I had started clenching my jaw in my sleep. I've done that before, but I noticed I would wake up clamping on it, and I would notice, the first few days I didn't realize I was clamping down. I noticed the jaw still hurt, but I didn't realize that was not the infection with the tooth. But once I realized it, then I started noticing it every morning when I woke up. So anyway, yesterday I went in for the temporary crown to be put on it. So they grind down the tooth around it and about, and then in this case put something that looks like a shell casing over the top of it, cement it in place while the prosthetic is made, porcelain, and then I'll go back in a couple weeks and have that put on, probably. But it's a little concern that I might shatter it. So I have to look into that. It wasn't too bad. I was in the chair for about 45 minutes. Didn't feel any pain, but it's no fun. One of the things I'm doing is I'm rearranging my desk. I've decided to move my main work area in here to the office and take my secondary computer and put it in the living room. I want a better keyboard for typing. I want not to be using the laptop keyboard. So I need to expand. I want 2 monitors. So I needed to expand the space out. So I've started moving the studio in here. I've also put in a suspended mic, the shock mount, and for the podcast. And I'm not done in here yet, but I'm working at it. But my keyboard just arrived, and I don't know if I talked about this or not, but I love an old style, proper IBM PC keyboard with that mechanical click-clack. That's the only way to go typing. And they went completely out of style for the longest time, and I hate them. And this is, yuck. Oh, I just messed up that document. Oh, well. Oh, Apple's in. And, undo, move to downloads. Wonder what I'm doing there. Well, we'll find out. Anyway. But now gaming keyboards use these keys, and so apparently this sprung up this whole cult of different styles of key clicks and whatnot, and the de facto standard out there is the Cherry MX line of key switches. I think it's made in Germany. And they have different models: red, blue, green, clear, I don't know. And they all have different characteristics, whether they click, how hard you have to push, what kind of a double refresh. And I have no way of testing them all, but I did my research, and I think the Cherry MX blue is the right key click for typing and gaming. Not that I game, but you know, that a solid click. And so that's what I've got here. I picked up a keyboard. It has the silly glowing RGB light in it, but I don't care about that. I just care about the feel. So I'm gonna crack this open and see if this is everything I dreamed it would be. Well, there she is. I haven't plugged it in yet. But I'm gonna try the key. I've carefully taken it out of the box to avoid touching any of the keys, so that now here on camera for the very first time I'm gonna touch one of those keys. I'm gonna touch one of those keys. I'm gonna do it like this too, because that way you can see the expression on my face. And if I go, I'm not gonna like this, and you know, depends. So, are you ready? Here we go. I think we're gonna use the Alt key, and it's a Windows keyboard. Ugh. But yeah, now that's a keyboard. Brilliant. Oh, that does feel just like a 1980s IBM PC. Maybe just the slightest bit lighter. But, oh yeah, that's going to be a joy to type on. I'm loving it. One of the reasons I picked this particular one, the Master Keys MK750, was because it's USB-C. And of course, my MacBook Pro is USB-C. The future is USB-C. So I thought, well, that's better. It is a Windows keyboard, and if you want to do the fancy stuff, you have to get a Windows thing and driver. But apparently, based on all the reviews I found online, it works just fine with a Mac, and you just swap the Alt and the Windows key keycaps, and it's in the correct position for using on a Mac. But it comes with a cable. By the way, it's detachable. That was the other part that I liked about it. It's not a hardwired cable. But it's USB-C to primitive old crap USB. Hey. It's for a sucky PC. Luckily, I've got a cable, so we're good there. Although it's probably 6 foot long. I don't know if I need that. I had a grilled cheese sandwich on Jewish rye yesterday. It was surprisingly good, and I posted a picture of it on Facebook because I'm an old fogey. And one of my acquaintances, friends, made the comment that any bread makes a good grilled cheese sandwich. And so for that reason, today I'm going to be trying a grilled cheese on naan sandwich. As a bread, naan is made by taking a, not exactly a dough ball, but a dough chunk, and slapping it to the inside of a tandoori. Or tandoor. Is it a tandoor or a tandoori? Either way, that means that one side of it has a nice smooth, flat, and the other side is puffy. So I've opted to use the flat side for the side to go against the skillet. And it doesn't absorb butter like regular bread, so I've got a little bit of a lot of excess butter in the pan right at the moment, which I never thought I'd use the phrase excess butter in my life, but there you go. Well, there we have it. What might be the world's first grilled cheese on naan sandwich. I guess now it just comes down to trying it. Well, here we go. Possibly the world's first grilled cheese on naan sandwich. It's flatter than I thought, and like I said, it didn't hold butter as well. So, but you've got a nice cheesy inside. It's tougher than a regular sandwich. That's hardly surprising. It's all right, but I think the naan overpowers the cheese a little too much. I think maybe 2 slices of cheese wouldn't be needed to make a better go of this. Perhaps tomorrow. Grilled cheese on naan. World premiere? You decide. Hey there! It's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, the day-to-day routine is too tedious for even me to comment. I think the last time I talked with you, and I may not have even posted it yet, I don't know, was had to do with my tooth. And well, I think I want to go actually I want to go around this way. Whee! The cracked tooth, they augered it down and put on a temporary crown, which I still have, and it's bending in my mouth. I have not looked at it. That's how much willpower I have. That's weeks. I haven't actually gone in there and gone looking. I mean, I've brushed it and all, but I don't pry it up and try to see what it looks like because, I don't want to. And they took castings at the time of after they bored it down. They took castings and of the receptacle spot, if you will, that they built, and they sent that off to a lab to have a tooth made, a crown made that looks like a tooth, I presume, and matching colors and all sorts of things. And that should be done now. I have an appointment Tuesday to have that installed. This one hasn't given me any trouble. In fact, I've been able to chew on it and no problem. The only problem is that I think it's shaped, because I think it is deforming a little bit. I tend to bite the cheek out there with it more than I should. I have to be a little careful. So I'm looking forward to getting rid of it in that respect, because I hate a good cheek bite. I've, had my exercise numbers every day up. Increased my active calorie numbers, so that takes a fair portion of my day, every day, just making my numbers. So typically I just walk to lunch somewhere. That'll get me 30 minutes to an hour of walking exercise. And still sticking with the diet. About 3 days ago, my target goal is 199 pounds, and the reason that my target goal is 199 pounds is because that gets me to a BMI under 25, and I hit 199.99 the other day, which I count. That's good. I made it. But my diet software doesn't count that. But I got a weight that was under 200. And then I did a 36-kilometer bike ride that day. But I ate a lot that day too, because I did a 36-kilometer bike ride. So I backed back up to 201. But this is a common pattern. I hit a new number, and then I go up 2 or 3 pounds, and then tend to plummet back below that number. So I'm counting on the plummet. I'm at exactly 200 today. So, and I've had a very small breakfast. I had a very small breakfast yesterday. I'm gonna go have tortas for lunch. That's a Mexican sandwich. I think they're grilled and they contain Mexican style meat toppings. And there's a place, I passed it on my way to pick up a shovel, and I thought, ooh, torta Jimmy's, that sounds authentically Mexican. Anyway, that's where we're headed for lunch, and I'm not walking to lunch today because it's well, I don't know if it's too far, but I'm too hungry. So I'm gonna have to make up my exercise somewhere else in the day. So I don't know how much footage has not yet been put out there, but however much footage has not been put out there, I'm going to combine them all into 1 mega, or unless it's so much, I'll put 2 mega, and I'll finally get one of these things out. And then after I've watched it, maybe I'll figure out what I haven't told you about. Pool electrical is definitely on the list, but I'm going to start working on that in this weekend. So I had quite the discovery today when I bought my new shovel and decided to give it a bit of trenching and try to undo the conduit that was there's a break in the line somewhere, and so I either pay somebody to trench it or thought, well, you know, if I do 10 minutes a day, I'll get there. And I didn't get very far into it, and I discovered what my problem was. So more on that next time. So I've just been to Tortas Jimmy's, and I had the torta de pierna, which, if you translate it in Google, you're going to get something like cake leg, because torta comes out as cake, but in these parts anyway, tortas refers to sandwiches. They're usually pressed sandwiches, hot pressed sandwiches, and pierna is leg. It's ham leg, so it was roast ham or roast pork, not ham, pork, and it was really good. It comes by default with lettuce, tomato, jalapenos, and some sort of mayonnaise. I, of course, had it with no tomato. What was interesting was nobody there spoke any English. So between my broken Spanish and their broken English, and I think my Spanish was better than their English. They're very nice. They were very nice people, and they were very, very accommodating. It's very clean inside, and the food was really good. But fortunately, I know how to say no tomato in Spanish, and please and thank you, and for here, and a couple of other just basic phrases, and with miming and whatnot. We got through that. But good. I would definitely come back here again. They also have a torta de lomo, which I guess is similar, but it's beef. I might try that, although the pork was really good. So that's it. That was lunch.
And your 2019 junior high individual chess champion for Board 1, which is basically recognized as the best junior high player this year, James Glover, bassist central, P1.